And Twilight locking in that Bodvar. We've got Crockie on Ada. Twilight on Bodvar. Here we go. Game 1 of this winners quarterfinals match. Crockie versus Twilight.
On Thunderguard Stadium.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Both players find themselves in the unarmed. Go for an unarmed combo right away. Nothing connects, and Twilight finds the hammer. Crockie, however, hits him with a recovery into a neutral air.
Twilight throwing away the hammer, bouncing around, falls to his death.
Wow. A little unfortunate there for Twilight. Not sure if it's a connect.
Issues?
I don't believe so. I think Twilight actually just screwed up because he's continuing to play the match. Twilight loses that stock really early on. Crockie taking full advantage of it. Hits him with a ground pound, holding onto the spear, and Twilight's struggling to find another weapon.
Alright, but Crockie trying to keep that pressure on top of Twilight with that spear. Gets a good dare. Can't keep the pogos going, but Twilight not able to get inside of Crockie. Neutralite spacing him out.
Crockie holding on to the spear. Twilight tosses his hammer aside, goes for the sword, tries to get an early down stick finisher, but doesn't connect. Twilight hits him with the sidelight. Crockie being really great with these ground pounds on the spear this match. Holding on to the spear, continuing to fight against Twilight. Hits him with the sidelight to punish him coming back from underneath the stage, and Crockie's dominating the second stock that Twilight's got. Another ground
pound again from Crockie finishes it off.
I think he's connected like 4 or 5 ground pounds so far, and they've all been incredibly punishing. Twilight's still struggling to come back in this game after that stock loss, throwing out like 4 to 5 side airs, and Crockie says, screw this, goes for the unarmed combo, and gets a decent amount of damage on the Twilight. Finds the bomb, takes in more damage. Is this going to be a 3 stock from Crockie?
Neutral air, can't get the recovery hit. Twilight able to get outside of it, but he's already knocked into the red, and Crockie trying to chase after him. Weapon toss gonna connect onto Crockie. Can't get it, and Twilight able to get the ground pound onto Crockie. Crockie using all of his options to try to get close, but Twilight's sticking right beside him.
Twilight going for that bread and butter unarmed combo, doing a decent amount of damage, sending him into the deep yellow, finds himself below the stage, but geez, Twilight's taking a lot of damage on the stock. He's going to have to pull a miracle to be able to bring this game out after that early on Z. Crockie going for a ground pound, Twilight finally deciding not to get hit by them, but still, he's in the deep red.
Crockie has the spear, can get a Sair, trying to bounce weapons on inside of that shenanigans area, but Twilight gonna stay inside of it undeterred. Gets a Sair as he comes up, gets another Sair. Crockie needs to not get hit by any more Sairs, running out of options. There it is, Crockie taken down, and stocks have been evened up just like that.
Twilight doing a great job of using that center part of Thunderguard Stadium to regain his bearings, space those siders perfectly, and end that stock, bringing it back 1-1 despite the very early Z.
Twilight in the red, Crockie with weapon control. Ground pound not going to connect this time for Crockie, but Twilight's got to be careful. This is
Crockie
close to how he shenanigans himself.
Yeah, Crockie going for some very, I guess, safe for him ground pounds, but regardless, oh no, is that the end of
Twilight out of options. That dare knocks him to the side, and that weapon toss is going to stop any sort of recoveries that he had. But that was surprisingly close, despite the fact that Twilight Z'd himself very
in the
early
first
on.
15 seconds of the match. It was interesting to see him lose track of all those jumps, and he was still able to try to pull out something really quickly. So if I were in Crockie's position, I'd be interested in seeing what he's going to be able to pull out next. In this best of 3, Twilight surely to be salty about that early on Z, but I feel like he's pretty comfortable after he was able to bring back such a decent comeback.
We'll see what is about to happen. Twilight versus Crockie. Twilight, he's got to just shake it off. He did exceedingly well, and Crockie should be a little bit nervous given how well Twilight did despite that toss.
Yeah, now we're on Mammoth Fortress. Definitely no center of the stage to fall through into your death. Crockie opting for some unarmed combat, brings Twilight into the yellow and finds the first weapon as well. Twilight tosses the mine aside, right onto a weapon that I'm sure he wants to pick up, and Crockie ends up just defending it, tossing the spear aside, denying everything from Twilight, and making sure that he's got nothing to fight with.
Trying to keep it going, but Twilight ends up getting past, picking up a hammer, but Crockie immediate downlight into a side air. Neutral light, trying to keep it going, can't get the side light.
Twilight holding on to the hammer, goes in for a side air, but these neutralites, another neutral light. Crockie just bring him into the red with one move alone. Holding on to the spear, doesn't even want to opt to deny that weapon. Twilight goes in for a side air and lands with a neutral air, but he's kind of at kill percent. There's the recovery. Will we see the ground pound?
Can't keep the juggle. Instead, Twilight makes it back safely, and Crockie once again recovers. Twilight able to make it outside of it.
Crockie,
fishing for these recoveries right now.
Yeah, really enjoying playing the role of the helicopter to this set. Whether he's below him or above him, he just likes to use that special move. Another recovery, just keeping Twilight out. Even though they're not connecting, he's not really getting punished.
There it is! Absolutely brutal. Crockie just fishing for that recovery so hard, and like you said, wasn't getting punished for it, so there's not much reason for him not to do it.
After the 10th recovery, and eventually one will land, Twilight gets killed off the top, and Crockie finds himself sitting comfortably in the yellow.
Crockie. Can he do it again? Can he space out Twilight with those neutralize, but throws away the weapon, and now Twilight, with weapon control, gets a downlight string, but it's not going to be enough just yet. One good side air.
Ooh.
Side Sig finishes it off. Stock and health even. Twilight taking no damage for it.
Yeah, Twilight being so incredibly patient with that stock. And that side air, making sure he watched everything that Crockie did before he punished him with that side Sig. Crockie still finds the spear once again, punishes Twilight's landing with the neutral light, and goes for a weapon toss into a neutral air and a recovery. An excellent string from Crockie.
Recoveries again from Crockie. Undeterred. Side Sig is going to knock Twilight a little bit back, but it's not going to be anywhere near death just yet. Crockie fishing for another recovery.
Twilight holding onto the sword, goes for a D-light punish on that weapon, but Crockie has no interest in tossing the spear's side. Being very comfortable with it, lands with the neutral light, doesn't connect, and Twilight punishes him with a side air.
Crockie fishing for recoveries again. Downlight, side air, Twilight dead.
Wow.
Crockie absolutely monstrous with this spear. Hasn't even done too much with guns as far as...
Crockie definitely doesn't like the guns against Bodvar. That much I've noticed just from last week. He likes to hold on to the spear, play it very safe, use neutral lights, never signature, and slowly kill them.
Nice neutral light unarmed string. Tries to keep it going, can't get the nair, but he's gonna back off. Doesn't get the spear that he wanted, so now he's forced to use guns for a little bit at least. He's gonna start spacing out Twilight. Can't get the downlight, and Twilight answers back. Downlight combo.
Yeah, brutal punish there with that greatly canceled D-light and decider. Another D-light and decider. These moves are just absolutely destructive when it comes to Ada with how low her defense is, because it racks up the damage so very quickly. But Crockie, holding on to that spear, is going to go for more recoveries again, knowing that he's at a stock lead. There's one. It connects. He goes for another one. Gosh, once you get into that red zone, you know that Crockie's just going to be spamming that helicopter.
Is playing with fire right now, and Crockie takes him down with that bomb.
Man, manages to survive too, so it still counts as a 2-stock.